Hi all, I'm Rodion, you're at Foundation Coffee. We are initiating a new section called Crazy Experiments. We suggest you to grab some boutique and a cup of coffee. Well, let's start. And now in turn. First of all, this format was created for coffee experiments. Secondly, we rely on our own imagination, which we want to combine with reality. The section consists of experiments and competitions between experienced baristas. Each barista will have a task to perform better than others. As you can see from the video title, the participants' first task will be roasting green coffee beans. Well, we are already at the first location and we are moving on to the first experiment, which is related to roasting green coffee beans over an open fire. In our presence, we have Alexi Gondar, the roaster and project manager of the High Five specialty coffee line.
Oh, hi district, here's your grain. Yes, today we have guat, Oriente, natural processing.
And you will not save. Today we will make use of such a, I do not know what to call it, a jug-like container. Roster. This is a roster. What is the purpose of striving for victory in this particular program?
I'm victorious because I will utilize this pot today, as you mentioned, as per your advice. Cast iron, almost like a rooster. The roster is also made of cast iron, correct? I will attempt to heat it up to approximately 200 degrees. Will this work? Yes, definitely. We have my sweetheart. I'll put the cauldron to warm it up. More precisely, your home production list. Pocket rooster. I'll put it here on the fire to warm up to a temperature of 200-300 degrees. Either addition or subtraction will be suitable for us, and I will quietly toss, you see? And why specifically on the hearths?
So why won't you make use of, for instance, the temperature that will originate from coal as an alternative? She'll be smaller, lighter. Why on hearths specifically? I was not adequately prepared for this. Friends, we do not have a plan. We do not have a recipe at our disposal. We will only start frying in this pan and observe the outcome of our cooking process to see what emerges from it. We definitely do not recommend utilizing this roasting technique. Simply visit our cafe or place an order for delightful freshly roasted coffee on the website.
I preheat my roster before frying because all fryers know that you cannot fry on a cold roster. In the distance, I am still able to see the initial 1 or 2 test throws because the roster, when heated, fries in a slightly incorrect manner. And then we will exhibit the profile Dig It Up, and I am of the opinion that today will be a favorable day in Guatemala. Typically in the roster, where I fry at work, I have a total of 3 units of heat transfer energy. Conduction, convection, and radiation, the same. Here I only have conduction, correct? Only conduction, a little radiation. Conduction is when you fry, like on a stove, in a frying pan more precisely. Silver skin peels off coffee, coffee darkens, usually cyclone used in roasters for this purpose. He can be either internal or external. All of the chaff goes to that place, which the roasters must collect and dispose of in some location afterwards. And here she goes down herself. Yo mayo, I think something like cinnamon toast or full city. We will do today, no. Oh good, okay, I hear a crack. And this is the third crack. This is the third crack. You saw the third crack first, you felt it. Well, you know, the certainty of a grain, it's butter, it was butter. Here it is. All people not loaded should observe.
In this area, the air is quite intense, so my expectation is that it will cool down rapidly and efficiently.
Tell me, why do you need to cool fast?
After the roasting process, the grain must undergo an additional cooling stage to ensure that it does not continue to fry inside itself, which could result in undesirable outcomes and affect its quality. This will result in a burnt pan. In our case, everything is okay. First of all, we see that something didn't turn out very well for us, and I wouldn't recommend trying it. After conducting these experiments, subsequent to the initial experiment, the second one and the third one, we will attempt to use this grain in the traditional approach of preparing espresso coffee.
Thanks to the first attempt, which I will not call unsuccessful, but interesting we will call it, I understood one thing. Load at 300 degrees is a lot. So this time I loaded tanks somewhere at temperature of 120.
In traditional roasting, a high temperature is applied right away. When you pour the coffee, the temperature drops rapidly, as far as I can comprehend. Gaining momentum, reaching about 70 to 202 degrees exceeds expectations, right?
The indicators are different for everyone because it depends on the thermocouple, where it is located in the furnace, the type of furnace itself. But the numbers are more or less like this. 200 degrees, a little less. Let me help a little. What controls the temperature in a classical roaster? In the classic roaster, there is a concept of a probe, a thermocouple probe, which measures the temperature in the roaster. When the grain falls on this probe, it is such a thing that is inside the drum. The grain descends, makes contact, and the contact conveys the temperature of these grains. There is additionally a probe that measures the air temperature at the outlet, because we are able to control the temperature of the grain and the air in classical growth.
Do not you think about creating a recipe for this granola when we make, for instance, kebabs or some chicken dishes? It would be a delicious and versatile addition to our menu. So we typically irrigate our plants using beer instead of water. Why do not you give it a try and do it now?
What? Are you talking about alcohol? No, alcohol is for later. Alcohol in the evening, friends. Now we are working, frying coffee. Rodion is already freezing. And this is understandable because being a fryer is not easy. When describing this coffee, we can mention the elements of open flame, sand, and water that are involved in its preparation process. Fantastic. Beach, Odessa Beach. Typically during work I enjoy sunbathing until the first rays of the sun. First crack, more waiting, that's it. No second crack, very dark roast, won't roast coffee. Our first attempt, as Rodion said, is indeed the third crack. Third crack. There we just had coffee oils. The coffee was so oily, so dark. It seems to me shorter. There is such a wheel. They're like city, full city. There is Italian, French. Seems like it's very dark. Odessa Smashka is there. Please write in Ukrainian language. We roast coffee lighter, which exposes more of its intriguing bouquet. And if you roast coffee very dark, it will simply be caramel, chocolate, nuts. Not interesting. We already have a recipe. Leshka has a recipe that he is frying now. Coffee changes color, and it's very good. Either the grain cracks or the wood cracks under them. Someone is cracking. But I see that some grains are already starting to fly in the roasting. We do not need this, we will unload. And we went here, here, here.
And we unloaded onto a chili cooler. Well, now we will start frying coffee using a gas stove and all the other equipment we have. Yesterday we already slightly damaged the gloves. Lesha spoiled them a little, but I hope they will save me from the hot tray. The utmost crucial aspect, what I will be guided by today. While frying, this is a step-by-step quality assessment of the roasting process that I will prioritize and carefully monitor. So, I do not comprehend at all how it will fry because of the internal temperature of the oven, but in some way it should work out. In case of an emergency, we have a fire extinguisher on hand. The first step is to preheat the oven. To be completely honest, I have no idea what the outcome will be. This is the most experimental experiment of the entire release because when we fry, for example, on the grill or in a pan or in a pot or using any other method, we are in specific conditions that will assist us if something goes wrong and we need to take action. Quickly. In this case, we find ourselves in an apartment and what it will be we do not know at all, so experiment with us. But never repeat this at home. To prevent the coffee from burning, we will take it out and shake it with a silver spoon. Silversky. This is skin that looks like scales. It has a silvery appearance. So, in order for it not to catch fire, it needs to be removed at a certain point, because the oven cannot get rid of it on its own, as it happens, for example, in Rostele. Well, our oven has already warmed up a little, so let's put the coffee in there. Yes, we placed it there. Normally I have some sort of bun or some kind of egg in this location, but today there will be coffee. This is her current emotional state in that location. I am optimistic that all will be well for her. We conclude the matter and remain in anticipation. 1 minute has already passed and the grain starts to emit its aroma. It is very strange and we still do not know what will happen with the process itself, but it is definitely a good sign that it is beginning to have a slight smell. Friends, 3 minutes have passed and we will probably start getting our grain and mix it a little so that the process goes a little more evenly. It does not appear to be completely fried at all. That is, it seems to be in the initial stages of the frying process. However, a few of them have already altered their color to a shade that is darker. Already the 9th minute, and now we will try to mix the grain a little more. It begins to crack even more. In the end, the lower section of the food tends to be more fried, most likely due to its proximity to the fire source, which results in increased heat exposure and a higher chance of being cooked for a longer duration. That is the reason why it is necessary to continuously stir the mixture without stopping. We ultimately chose to eliminate the foil due to the annoyance it causes us. Additionally, it consistently peels off the surface, prompting us to proceed with the process in its absence. Already the 15th minute and it is getting very hot. The grain cracks and we will mix it again. Emitting smoke. Listen, I believe my procedure will be significantly superior to Lyosha's. And I will be able to emerge victorious in this program. Yes, the process is not uniform, but I firmly believe that we will achieve success in the end. And everything will be okay. Sending it back. Already the 20th minute and there is already smoke in this place. I will still get it and mix it a little. Oh my, it's amazing. What are you doing? I can't. Already the 20th minute and there is already such a process. In my opinion, I believe we require approximately 5 additional minutes and everything will be okay and satisfactory with us in the end. As I said, 5 minutes have passed and we can already get our coffee. She probably feels very good about herself. She is fracturing there. Incredibly delectable. I possess such a beautiful house. You all do not have any idea. Well, what do I want to tell you? She got fried. She really got burned. She smells. And it's not very pleasant to do at home, but, well, the experiment is successful, it seems to me. Yes, there are darker grains, darker, lighter shades, but it has undergone the process of roasting, which has resulted in a transformation of its flavor and aroma. I just need to give it a try. Friends, this is the only method I've found to effectively get rid of seborrhea. It's worth a shot. My spouse will murder me. Well, now we proceed to the tasks performed by each deep fryer after their working hours.
Cleaning is the process of removing dirt, dust, and stains to maintain cleanliness and hygiene in surfaces, objects, or environments.
Well, we got rid of most of the silver skin, and we will now start pouring our grain into the jar. We made him fall asleep by utilizing these home movements. Sprinkle a small amount of silver skin in that particular area. Somewhere hiding. Look, when we filled the green coffee, the jar was not completely filled to the brim as we had anticipated. Currently, as a result of the increase in size of the coffee, it is no longer able to fit in its previous location due to the lack of sufficient space.
Here, some certain amount remains here. Well, now we are in the Foundation Coffee Place Cafe at Zhukovskoho 19. And with us, her manager, Vadim.
Yes, I run Foundation Cafe. And now I will fry coffee on this thing. You appear to resemble a frying pan, so let's observe what emerges. If any, Lyoha will fry later.
Before we start frying, let's discuss Vadim's plan, which he will use now, to ensure we're on the same page.
Regarding. Turn on the stove, pour in the coffee, and start roasting. I will interfere, and I will enjoy it.
Like, as you understood, all intuitive.
Yes, I will be working at a very high temperature. The faster I work, the better it will be. Somewhere like that. Enough. Maybe it won't work out. I'll add more later. All. Waiting for it to heat up. And everything will be ready soon. I saw what my previous colleagues were doing, so I have something to rely on. There is an extremely cool coffee from one of the participants, but I believe that mine will be even cooler.
Dude, tell me why you're going to do this on a cold pan? Because we preheated everything before, and you have a slightly different recipe, or do you not know what you're doing at all?
Well, it should not concern you, so I will fry as necessary. It is my responsibility to handle the cooking process as required. Well, in general, there was already butter there before. It remained on the frying pan. In my view, I believe that butter will certainly have an impact on the texture and quality of the grain.
So you didn't wash your frying pan?
No, you have knowledge of it.
God, what are we doing here?
Therefore, this will provide coloration. So if I do not fry something adequately, the coloration will undoubtedly be evident. And the color in fried coffee is an indication of good quality.
In general, this process is extremely dangerous due to its production of a very large amount of CO2, which poses a significant threat to the environment. And it can have an impact on your health. Because yesterday all of the Santas gathered near my house as a result of this aroma.
No need to worry. I think we'll manage to handle it.
You comprehend that you consistently blend because you desire your grains to be more uniform.
Yes, yes. I do not care about the taste outcome. Because when I produce a cool color, the taste will naturally manifest itself without any effort on my part. Because there, if they say the first crack, the second crack, the middle roast, something like that, kind of nonsense. Number. They hide super info, concealing it while adding vibrant colors to make it visually appealing and enhance its impact. And how is it fried there? It doesn't make any sense at all.
What will you do with silver skin?
That's it, I'll just do it and that's all. And we drove on. I was given a shoulder blade, I don't know what for. Well, these are grains, like potatoes. You do it like this. And that is the end of it. The process itself is very similar to frying potatoes. Why the hell are you present at this moment? Well, Dima gives it away just fine. Why? You fry potatoes to get color. You roast the grains to get the color. Therefore, all the fryers who do it differently, they do not know how to fry.
Currently, the grains have been heated up to a temperature of 150 degrees. In order to ensure they change color, we must continue frying them as they have not done so yet, although there is a small amount. Oh my goodness, how on earth did you manage to become a cafe manager?
To summarize, I worked a great deal. When you work extensively, it is crucial not only to acknowledge that you do a lot, but also to make it evident, as it is duly observed, and it plays a significant role in establishing you as a manager. How did you become coach?
I don't know, if honor.
You just worked, did your job. All. It will come by itself.
And will you provide instruction to interns on these roasting techniques during their training period? Can we taste this coffee you're roasting, for example, to see if it's good?
Well, if I work as an intern at some of these roasting sessions, I don't think anyone else will be willing to come for training. Adding a bit more green is crucial for creating balance, as it is one of the most important things.
What balance? No thanks. No.
I am similar to this operator.
Oh god, it is already starting to emit smoke here, damn it.
I'll sort it and it'll be something.
Soon it will start cracking.
What is this?
Crack, crack, crack. That is, the grain becomes highly saturated with carbon dioxide, initiating cracking and expansion internally. The temperature reaches 180 degrees.
I'm close. I'll grease up to 300 and that's it. If it gets any hotter, it will no longer be usable. This is disposable. All. Let's go and cool off together.
Please wait, just a moment. I kindly request you to hold on for a short while, as I need to attend to an important matter.
Please fetch me an additional frying pan from the kitchen.
Now.
Oh, that is not necessary. It is an action that is unnecessary.
I'm watching.
Yes, here you go. Please hold on. Oops. Next, please. Come on. Next, please. Operator, may I have a freshly fried fish, please? Thank you. Oh God, I have recently begun. It is nearly cold, so you can now hold it in your hand at this moment in time. Guess go coffee. That's it. Here a little bit. How does it work? Hot stuff, hot grains and cold metal. And the switches are cooling down. Now this metal is cooling down. And I'm like this.
Let's go. Who'll clean all this up?
Cleaner. They are cooking food there.
During the time when our final participant is pouring his coffee into a jar, we require the previous example that demonstrates the process of roasting green coffee beans. Now we proceed to tasting, the most fascinating. Start with preparation. Participants have tuned their coffee. Now it's my turn. I will use a classic coffee machine to do this. Coffee and espresso and cappuccino variations. We're cooking something extraordinary, trying to boil something pleasant. I use parameters depending on the roasting profile, because somewhere it was under-roasted, somewhere it was over-roasted, someone has everything perfect. At this moment, I am currently sketching such a tiny flower, and in principle, you have the capability to serve espresso and cappuccino beverages. Yegor will help us with the tasting. He works in a cafe. He understands the quality of freshly roasted coffee quite well. It is immediately noticeable how interested he is. The finger is sprained, everything is okay. Oh, it knocked him a little, it's fine. It is time to have some cappuccino. Well, let us go and enjoy. Oh, and I bet the cappuccino is probably really tasty.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. You can immediately see that this is a coach. This is the authentic Foundations coach. Well, here is what else there is to say. Such, with a light, such a tender, well, such a griffin or grenade, something like that happened. But, in fact, I'm lying, and it was very bad, honestly. Really very bad.
Dismiss him. Peanut. Pasta.
Booties. Very bad. Can I move? I will still be with Rige, honestly. I'm crying a lot. It's like M&Ms. But this one has been lying in the sun for a year. It was eaten there before it reached you, and then you drank it. Here's something like M&Ms, and I really hope for the next batch, because so far Rodion does not export.
Not at all. What is the matter? What is the matter? During the nighttime it is... Oh, the sky is very dark and the clouds look fluffy and soft. The ultimate espresso is not genuine. It's a fake, not the real deal.
You can still drink cappuccino. Somewhere, it seems to me, in some coffee shops, they cook the same way in some coffee shops. Indian style is better. I know, I am cooking. Yes, the first. Yes, what was the first? Lord Jesus. Oh, in general, it's so bitter. It's impossible to drink. It makes your teeth clench, your jaws too. The cappuccino was extremely terrible. In general, there were no positive aspects. Secondly, there was absolutely no trace of Crimea. He was similar to an espresso diluted with water at a ratio of 2:1. The taste, like the first espresso, when you drink it in the morning, you set yourself up, so it was approximately the same. The cappuccino was like that. Not there, not here, but also bad. The last espresso, well, the first one. First, honestly say,
Well, if you put it that way, don't know where it's prepared. Wouldn't drink that. The squirrels burrow, you can drink. That's it. Friends, I've been contemplating the eventual champion of this roasting competition for a while now, and I decided that it will be, after all, Vadim Orishkov.
Where are you? And now a few words for the champion.
In short, thank you. It was a cool experiment. This is a victory. What, are we already shooting the next video? You'll be shocked. Such pleasure. Thanks for participating in everything. You're not surpassed. Thank you. Thank you.
Now a commercial break.
By the way, in our coffee shop you can taste this amazing limited lot Mexico Finca of single origin processing. In descriptors, you can sense pomegranate wine, plum, and truffle.
Peel off.
Friends, this was the first Crazy Experiments episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel for more. Thank you, Foundation Coffee Roasters. We're with you.